Let's go to Kamala Harris. Over the weekend, MoveOn.org had an event. Kamala was there. She was speaking. Something happened. It went viral. Everyone was talking about it. I called it out. It's entertaining, if nothing else. But I'm going to point to you and I'm show you something in this clip, if you've seen it before, that you may not have paid much attention to. Here it goes.
Does security need to be stepped up for the 23 candidates running for president? I want to show you what happened in San Francisco when Senator Kamala Harris was on stage during MoveOn's Big Ideas Forum. Watch.
And a big...
Hey.
I'm just
Hello. Okay. Hi.
Whoa.
Wait a minute, sir.
Just a few minutes ago, asking for your attention to a much bigger idea than...
Thank you so much, sir, for your big idea. But we want to make sure that we are able to get through this.
We need a mic. We need a microphone. We need a mic.
I'm good.
All right.
Don't worry.
I'm so sorry about that.
Please. All right.
Give it up.
Give it up for your Senator for California. You're good. Good.
You had a question, and I want to answer it.
Scary moment. And let me just point this out. We've spotlighted this for you. This is the senator's husband there helping take the protester off the stage. Obviously, he's furious. He wrestled the microphone out of this guy's hand. And then we saw Senator Harris return to the stage, thumbs up, reassuring everyone she was A-OK. But let's go to Maeve Reston, our CNN correspondent here, because Maeve, I mean, even seeing the moderator like jump in and try to keep this guy away from the senator. Where was security?
Well, I mean, it was a pretty shocking moment, and I think one that, as you mentioned, probably all of the presidential campaigns were watching. There isn't really a lot of security around these candidates at the moment. Senator Harris in particular travels a lot with her sister and sometimes one aide, and often her husband is there. You can often see him kind of at the edge of the crowd. He stays behind the scenes, and in this instance, he literally had to leap up on stage to help the other people who were hauling the protester off stage with a very angry scowl. I mean, that was such a natural reaction that you would have if your spouse had been confronted like that. So a really interesting moment that shone a spotlight on Doug Emhoff, her husband, who's a lawyer who practices law both in California and Washington, D.C., but has taken a very behind-the-scenes role on the campaign before now, Brooke.
Before now, and now everyone's watching Doug Emhoff, come help get this guy off stage. And he also tweeted that he would do anything for his wife. What more do we know about him?
Well, it's it's so interesting because Kamala Harris is not one of those candidates like Pete Buttigieg, who constantly talks about his husband on the campaign trail. She's always kind of kept her private life very private, but she did open up for the first time in her book earlier this year about her swift court.
All right, so outraged, wasn't it? You feel outraged after watching that, like, oh my God, what almost happened to Kamala Harris? I mean, she was basically fighting for her life, right? Oh no, is she gonna be okay? Yeah, a lot of people acted like that. I mean, they were totally overblown, like her life was on the line. She could have got stabbed or shot or something terrible could have happened to her. And I don't think that was the case at all. I don't think she was ever at risk of anything like that happening, okay? But a lot of people thought she was. And they were using this, they're still talking about this. This is still trending. The near-death experience of Kamala Harris while at the MoveOn.org Big Ideas and Forum. And oh my God, the young lady, oh God, the moderator, oh, she was so gutsy and brave the way she defended Kamala. I got to hear about this on and on and on and on and on and on about, oh my goodness. And to me, it's all overhyped nonsense. This is ridiculous. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. Hey, I don't want anybody to get hurt on the campaign trail. Nobody. I don't want that for anybody, not even for Kamala Harris. But if you can lock up people like hotcakes and you can chastise people on the stand and act tough and talk tough all the time, I think you can deal with one 130-pound, 6'4", goofy activist with no weapons, no threatening mannerisms, who wants to be an activist, who is an animal rights activist. He wasn't yelling obscenities and throwing paint on her fur shoes or fur coat. He was talking about saving animals. If you were on stage, you could hear totally what he was talking about. His big idea was about stop relying on meat. He's a rights activist. Now, I know there's a lot of people who don't care about rights activists. He says a certain way you got to protest. Can't protest this way. This is wrong. And, and we can have that debate all day about how people protest, okay? It's never the right time for some people. But if you're never given publicity, right, the only time they talk about you is if you interrupt a situation, because they won't just cover you. They won't just cover you because you have an action committee. They won't just cover you because you're there for a cause. They only cover you if you make news. And the only way for these organizations make news is if they interrupt somebody who's making news. So that's the reason why. They would have took the mic from whoever was up there if it would have got them publicity, if they could get their word out, if they could get their message out. And I know, like I said, he did it the wrong way. Yeah, that's debatable. But let's stop acting like this is new stuff. It ain't new stuff. This happens all the time. In fact, in 2015 through 2016, when Bernie Sanders was campaigning, it happened 14 times. And no one said, oh my God, Bernie's going to die. Bernie, oh my God, look what they could have done to Bernie. Oh, he's so in danger. In fact, I remember when the 2 or 3 Black Lives Matter women took the mic from Bernie. That's the one that got a lot of publicity. It happened 12 more times other than that. That's the only one that got publicity because it was attached to Black Lives Matter. And that was still in the news. And the news knew they could get a news cycle off of it. But it happened more times than that. He was interrupted a lot more times than that. And you know what? No one said, oh my God, poor Bernie, his life is being threatened. Oh, look how gutsy these people are who defended him. Oh, we need to hold them up and let's explode their Twitter profile because they just risked their life. But a couple points. When Bernie Sanders was attacked like this on the campaign trail, if you call it attack because somebody wants to talk, like they're not even attacking you. They just want the mic to talk and voice their grievance. They want you to listen because you are a public servant. This should not even be an adversarial type of thing. But imagine if Bernie Sanders if people would have ran up on the stage and took the mic from those black girls when Bernie Sanders was talking. Yeah, remember that? Imagine if a bunch of black guys and white guys jumped up on the stage and started pulling the mic out of their hand and ushering them off the stage. I wonder how they would have treated Bernie Sanders after that. They would have said he was a bigot, he was a racist. They would have said he assaulted those women. Those women were assaulted and battered. Their lives were threatened. Like, it would have been crazy. And you know I'm right. Yeah, you know I'm right. If you are a neoliberal supporter, whatever you are, you know I'm right. If it would have been Bernie Sanders and Jane Sanders would have ran up on the stage, and yanked the mic out of one of the black girls' hands with a scowl on her face, a growl, and get a mic, Jezebel, and get away from my husband. If she would have done that, you would have never heard anymore. You'd never stop hearing them talk about it. They'd have talked about it all the way up to the day, all the way up to the DNC convention. If Jane Sanders would have snatched the mic. But this guy, Doug, gets to do it, and nothing happens. He's lauded. Oh, he's a good guy. So don't talk to me about Me Too movement. Don't talk to me about Time's Up. Look, come on, guys. Keep it real. Don't talk to me about it because this is chauvinistic attitudes. Because Kamala is a woman. But I'm going to go back to my point. If you can lock up people for the maximum amount of time, 3 strikes, law and all, be a staunch supporter of locking people up and throwing away the key for years and years and years. If you could get up there on the House the Senate Judiciary Committees and beat the hell out of Jeff Sessions and clobber, what's his name? What's the guy? Kavanaugh, and give William Barr a hard time and make a name for yourself of not taking it. And let's be clear. Let's be really, really clear. Let's everyone be clear. I'm not having it. I'm so tired of this. If you can have that type of demeanor, well, shouldn't you be able to translate that over into real life when it's time to? Like, where's the demeanor? See, I just don't believe that Nina Turner would let some 120-pound, light-in-the-ass, blunt-having dude come up on the stage and house the stage and just be like, let me leave. I just don't think she would have done it. I don't think Nina Turner would have done it. I don't think so. And she don't lock up people for a living and throw away the key. She didn't deny good time for convicts because she wanted them to be cheap labor for slave labor for the California prison industrial complex to make money for the vendors. But I bet you that she would have stood up for herself if she needed to. Now, I got a couple other points about this. After close examination of this clip a couple of times, I realized that all that talking I just did wasn't even necessary because he walked up and he asked her could he have a mic, and she handed the fucking mic to him. He didn't take the mic out of her hand and snatch it. She did like this. If you watch the clip, let's watch the clip one more time, y'all. Let's watch the clip one more time.
Does security need to be stepped up for the...
And a big... Hey.
Now tell me if you now watch this, guys. Well, I'm gonna try to play this. Can I play it slow? I don't think I can play it slow, but I'll try to stop it. Check it out. Look at his hands. They got eye contact. Look at this. Eye contact. Look, eye contact. Look at Kamala. Looking right at the guy. What is she doing with the mic? What is Kamala Harris doing with the mic right now? Come on now. What is he doing? He's not going for Kamala Harris. He's going for the mic. Now, I'm not saying it's right to do, but I'm saying what's right and what's wrong. Is it right that we have animals living in cages who never get to turn around? No, that's not right. Animals have feelings. We do a lot of things in this country that aren't right. So forget that. It's not about right or wrong. I'm talking about facts. And the fact is, look what she's doing with that mic. One more time. Look. Watch her lift the mic up and give it to him. See, she gave him the mic. She gave him, ladies and gentlemen, she gave him the mic. She gave him the mic. Kamala Harris gave the young man the mic. She wasn't worried or afraid or anything. In fact, afterwards, that's why she's like laughing, like, it's all good. What? Everything's fine. Well, nothing. It's all good. You know? It's no big deal. She wasn't afraid. She sat there calm, relaxed, basically. Yeah, when I really looked at the clip, when somebody on Twitter hit me up like, Tim, you got to look at this a couple of times. She handed him that mic because he was not a threat. He was a guy with a cause. He was speaking to her as he walked up. I have something I have to say, Senator Harris. This is important. It's about animal rights. Please let me say it. And she lifted up and gave him the mic and continued to sit there. It's the lady who's the moderator who made this a bigger deal than it needed to be. So I know there's going to be people that say, oh, you don't care about Kamala Harris, you wanted to get hurt. I don't want anybody to get hurt. Like, I disagree with Kamala politically. Okay? I think she's a chameleon. I think she's Hillary Clinton in a better pantsuit. That's what I think. But who's a little bit better orally, a little better oratorially than Hillary Clinton, better presentation. Okay? But come on, man. Come on. Now, another point I want to get to.
Well, it's it's so interesting because Kamala Harris is not one of those candidates like Pete Buttigieg, who constantly talks about his husband on the campaign trail. She's always kind of kept her private life very private, but she did open up for the first time in her book earlier this.
That's the part I wanted to get to. She said it. I didn't say it, right? She said, Kamala Harris doesn't talk much about her husband on the campaign trail. Doug Emhoff is never brought up. I wonder why he isn't brought up. Why isn't Doug brought up more? And why, according to the lady there, I don't know her, she's a political analyst. All right, it's not Tim Black. Why does Pete Buttigieg always bring up his husband? Huh? She just said it. She didn't mean to say it. She didn't mean to help me here. Huh? Something I've been saying for a while. They've been playing up Pete Buttigieg's sexual orientation for all they could just to make money off of it. And he's not just a victim of them doing that. He leans in so they can play it up. He's always mentioning his husband. We got Kamala Harris, never talks about her white husband. And come on, this is an interracial relationship. Hey, I know Bill de Blasio, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, talks about his black kids, his black wife often, okay? Knowing, and tries to give himself cool points about knowing the black community because he married to a black woman, had black kids, black son and daughter, okay? Kamala Harris never brings up her white husband. There's a reason for it. I'm not going to say I got it all figured out about why, but there's a reason for it. But on the other hand, we got Peter Buttigieg, openly gay candidate, always talks about his husband. Got a big spread for the husband in the, first, husband, gay husband, whatever. All in the papers, all in the Time magazine, cover the Vanity Fair, whatever. I don't know. It's like everywhere, right? Big deal. Ooh, it's a big deal. They try to make us be sensationalized and focused on these things that don't mean anything to us. What does Pete's orientation have to do with what kind of president he would be, or what his chances are as a nominee, or what type of policy he stands for, and who he's going to fight for if he does get there in D.C., in the Oval Office? Nothing. It has nothing to do with Chasten. I shouldn't even know his name. I should not know Chasten's name. I don't need to know Doug's name, Doug Emhoff. I don't need to know his name. I just learned his name. Didn't need to know it. Why I need to know it? I need to know it if he's elected. They have made this a farce. This whole race, even up to this point, it's just getting started. We still got, 8 months to go before Iowa caucuses, and it's a farce. It's a big old stinking circus is what it is, where they're focusing on personalities, not policy, and to a detriment to the people who actually have to make a decision at some point about who best represents their needs. Pete Buttigieg is nothing but a manufactured candidate, and he's using his gayness in order to propel him. Has nothing to do with his policy. Now back to Kamala Harris. I guess she decided she'd lean in as well, and she used this 2 minutes to give further momentum to her campaign. I'm not going to say I blame her. I just want to point out the fact that I don't think she was ever in any danger. I'm not going to throw a pity party for Kamala Harris when she handed the guy a microphone who was no threat to her at all. Come on. He wasn't. All right, so remember, guys, this is your show now. This is the Tim Black Show. Thank you for tuning into it. I got one last clip I want to share with you. It's Bernie Sanders, and we'll get to that in just a moment. All right.